I had 3 shots to leave New York City by long-distance train. Chicago, New Orleans, or Florida. One ride felt legendary. The others didn't. Today I'm putting the Lakeshore Limited, the Crescent, and the Silver Meteor into a head-to-head showdown to find out which route actually deserves your time, money, and vacation days. I'm keen on the rails, and this is the New York long-distance showdown. West versus South versus beach. Let's meet the contenders. First up, the Lakeshore Limited. This is New York's overnight link to the Midwest. You leave Manhattan, follow the Hudson River north, swing west through upstate New York, and then run along the Great Lakes into Chicago. It's a one-night trip that turns NYC into a launch pad for almost every big Western long-distance train. Second, the Crescent. Here, New York is the starting point for a deep south journey. You roll out of Penn Station, head down the Northeast Corridor past Philly and D.C., then through Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia, and into Louisiana. It's a straight shot from skyscrapers and subways to brass bands and bayonets. Third, the Silver Meteor. This one is your Florida escape train. You leave the noise of New York, roll down the East Coast, and end up in a world of palm trees, beaches, and theme parks. It's classic snowbird territory. Board up north, step off into vacation. So from one station in Manhattan, you can aim yourself west to Chicago, south-southwest to New Orleans, or straight south toward Florida. Let's put them in the ring. Round 1, scenery. Round 1 is all about scenery. The Lakeshore Limited gives you one of the best departures in the east, running along the Hudson River, with cliffs and water on either side, before you turn inland. Later you trace parts of the Great Lakes and pass through classic Rust Belt and Midwest landscapes. It's more about river drama and big water horizons than mountains. The Crescent, from New York, is about contrast. You start on the dense Northeast Corridor, then the scenery slowly opens up as you move through Virginia hills, Carolina's countryside, and southern towns. You watch the architecture and vegetation change as much as the landscape itself. The Silver Meteor leans into that sliding into vacation feeling. You see stretches of coastal plain, marshes, and small towns. And by the time you're into the heart of the South, the trees, light, and overall vibe tell you you're nowhere near Manhattan anymore. It's less dramatic and more atmospheric. So who wins the scenery round? If you're a rail fan who loves river views and the feeling of actually leaving New York by rail, I'd give a slight edge to the Lakeshore Limited. But if you're more into watching culture shift from northeast to deep south, the Crescent might hit harder for you. Round 2, onboard experience. Round 2, what is it actually like to live on each of these trains out of New York? The Lakeshore Limited is a straightforward overnight with a strong scenic lead-in. You board in Manhattan, get that Hudson River show, settle into your seat or roomette, and wake up approaching Chicago. It's a clean, contained long-distance experience, especially good if you're connecting to a bigger western route. The Crescent runs longer from New York and gives you more time to sink into the rhythm. You're not just going to bed and waking up. You get a full sense of covering serious miles as the scenery and station names change. It feels like a true north to deep south journey. The Silver Meteor is the classic vacation train vibe. You board knowing the whole point is to step off somewhere warmer and more relaxed. Onboard, it's all about getting comfortable, watching the world slowly change outside your window, and then arriving ready to hit the beach or the parks. For onboard experience, if you want the biggest sense of, I really traveled far from New York, I'd say the Crescent has the edge. If you want a solid, manageable overnight taste of long-distance rail with a big city at both ends, the Lakeshore Limited is very hard to beat. Round 3, destination payoff. Round 3, what do you get when you step off the train? The Lakeshore Limited ends in Chicago. That means deep dish, museums, lakefront paths, and a rail hub that can send you almost anywhere else in the country by train. If you're building a bigger rail trip, Chicago as a payoff is incredibly powerful. The Crescent ends in New Orleans. You're suddenly in a city that lives on music, food, and history and feels nothing like Midtown Manhattan. If you judge payoffs by how different the destination feels from where you started, this one scores big. The Silver Meteor rolls you into Florida. Depending on where you hop off, you're talking beaches, resorts, or theme parks. It's pure vacation payoff. Warm weather, pools, and we made it to Florida by train, bragging rights. On destination alone, my personal winner is New Orleans. It's just such a unique, high-impact arrival coming off a New York departure. But for onward travel and flexibility, Chicago is outstanding, and for pure relaxation, Florida is hard to argue with. Round 4, time, budget, and practicality. Round 4, time, budget, and practicality out of NYC. The Lakeshore Limited is a solid overnight that fits into a long weekend or the start of a bigger trip. You can finish work, catch your train, and be in Chicago the next day without blowing up your whole schedule. The Crescent from New York asks a bit more from your calendar. You're committing to a longer ride, but in exchange you get that full northeast to deep south arc and an epic destination at the end. The Silver Meteor is built for planners and vacationers. You can time it with school breaks or winter escapes, and once you arrive, you're in a place where the whole point is to unwind. On practicality alone, the Lakeshore Limited and Silver Meteor win this round for most people. One for flexible city-to-city travel, one for straightforward vacations. Final round. Which New York train wins? So if I had to pick just one long-distance train out of New York City for the average viewer, which one wins? If you want the richest journey plus destination combo, I think the Crescent takes the crown. There's just something special about boarding in Manhattan and stepping off into New Orleans. If you're focused on building bigger rail adventures, the Lakeshore Limited is probably your best bet. It's the perfect overnight bridge from NYC into the Western long-distance network. And if what you really need is sun, sand, or theme parks, the Silver Meteor will be the clear winner for you and your crew. Now it's your turn. Chicago, New Orleans, or Florida? Tell me in the comments which direction you'd point your next long-distance train from New York and why. If this helped you figure out which NYC train is right for you, hit like, subscribe, and tell me which route you want me to ride next. I'm keen on the rails. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next train out of New York.